Hello everyone, welcome to Art Appreciation for the Spring 2021 semester. My name is Sam Swihart and I will be your professor for this class. Just a few things to get out of the way really quick before we jump into the syllabus and the class structure and everything like that. This class is being taught asynchronously, which means that we will not have a scheduled meeting time, so you will not be required to be on Zoom calls at 2:30 on Mondays or whatever. Instead, it's going to be more open, and hopefully, it will cater to your schedule a little better. What that means for all purposes intended is that because we won't have a scheduled meeting time, I will be posting our course material on our Blackboard page on Monday and Wednesdays, and you will have until end of day Tuesday and Thursday to submit your attendance assignments and all of that kind of stuff. We'll get more into that here in a minute. I'm trying to make this course at least as straightforward as possible. I'm doing all of this because my own home internet is kind of spotty when it comes to Zoom calls, and I don't want you guys to get frustrated trying to watch the Zoom call and it cuts out and you lose half the information and everything like that. So instead, what we'll be doing is I'll be posting videos on our Blackboard page with the lecture for that day, and then you'll watch the video lecture and then you'll respond to a couple prompt questions that will be provided on Blackboard in the announcements for your participation and attendance credit for the each day. And then we'll have like a weekly assignment, and then you'll have a larger assignment about halfway through the semester, and we'll have a couple tests, and that's pretty much it. But the main idea here is that we are going to try to make this at least somewhat accommodating for you and everything like that. Let's just go ahead and jump into the syllabus. Bear with me as I go through this and everything like that. So this is Art Appreciation. This is section 1301-31005. We are asynchronous, so we will not have a set time. I'll be posting our lectures and course materials on Mondays and Wednesdays, and you'll have until end of day Tuesday and Thursday to respond to those for participation, attendance credit, and all of that. Fairly flexible in that regard. But we will be meeting online, or we will be primarily conducting our business through Blackboard as well as through my email, which we'll see here in a second. That being said, you'll also notice that I'm looking down at a screen down here from time to time. That's so I'm not having to constantly turn my shoulder and everything like that. Aside from that, I am doing this class asynchronously because of troubles I've had with my own home internet and everything like that. I didn't want you guys to be like in the middle of a Zoom call and then my internet cuts out and you miss half the information. So we're doing this, in a little bit different way. So I'll be posting video lectures and our assignments to Blackboard. You'll respond to that, within the given time frame and everything like that, and everything will be good. So that being said, my name is Sam Swihart. You can refer to me as Sam. You can call me Professor Swihart. Whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. I'm not picky in that regard. Aside from that, on our syllabus here, you'll see my contact information. Obviously, we're not meeting in person right now, so I won't be actually having office hours. Although, I will try my best to, respond to any emails that you might send me in a timely manner. I check my email multiple times a day. The weekends might be a little bit different story, but once again, will try to get to you, or at least try to get a response to you ASAP. So, during the day, during especially the middle of the day, I'm really good at checking it. But once again, after that, just keep an eye out on it and everything like that. You will see down here my email is samuel.swihart@my.tcc.edu. And so this is the email that I want you guys to use when you contact me. This is the same email that you'll submit all of your assignments to, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll provide that with the assignments each time, so that you don't have to go digging through the syllabus to find it and everything like that. But if you have any questions whatsoever, there's nothing, that's inappropriate to ask necessarily, as long as it pertains to class. Please direct them to that email. So, class communications. So, I do ask that you direct, any and all questions or concerns that you have about class to my email, which is provided right above there. Once again, I'm going to try my best to check it on a regular basis, and everything like that. But also, I really highly recommend that you guys check your mytcc.edu emails on a regular basis, because this is how I'll be, sending out class announcements about, upcoming tests, et cetera, et cetera. So just, keep an eye on that, all right? You can also go to the waj.tcc.edu website and register for college alerts. So this will, give you an alert anytime you get a new email. It will also send you weather alerts, news about the campus, all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, since we're not in person, the weather alerts and everything aren't really going to be an issue this semester. However, for future reference and everything, when we do go back in person, you can sign up to get alerts for when the school is going to be closed, all of that kind of stuff. So something that I would recommend that you do, if you're so inclined. So, moving on to course content. I want you to note that the instructor reserves the right to alter the content of the syllabus during the course of this semester according to the needs of the course. So what that means is that I reserve the right to alter our class, the expectations of our class, the syllabus, et cetera, at any time anytime that I deem fit, okay, throughout the course of the semester. However, I don't necessarily want to do this, a lot. If there is anything major, I will let you know ahead of time. The only thing I can really think of is that maybe a test gets the date changed or something like that. I mean, we really shouldn't have any issues here. But note that I do reserve the right to alter anything within the course at any time. Now, I'm going to spare you guys the course, goals and learning outcomes, but generally speaking, this is a general introduction to the visual arts designed to create an appreciation of the vocabulary, media, techniques, and purposes of the creative process. So students will critically interpret and evaluate works of art within the formal, cultural, and historical contexts. And this course is also an academic core course. So, I'm pretty sure almost everyone's required to take this class, regardless of whatever your intended major is. So, that being said, we're going to try to make it at least somewhat enjoyable, hopefully. But once again, I'm not going to burden you with all of the course goals and learning outcomes. You can read that on your own time if you're inclined. And everything like that. So we're going to jump pretty much to course evaluation. So all assignments and tests will be graded on a 100-point scale. Only your final letter grade will be reported to the registrar. All individual grades will be available via Blackboard. So if you go to Blackboard, and I'll go there here in a minute after I'm done with the syllabus to show you a few things. there is a tab on the left side column that says Grade Center. If you click it and open, full Grade Center, you'll have, where all of your grades for this class will be registered or at least uploaded online. I also keep a physical copy of all of that as well, so, just in case. But generally speaking, you should all know what constitutes an A. It's a 90 to 100 overall, a B, 80 to 89, etc. Everything like that. So, course assessments. Here we have a percentage breakdown of how you will be graded for this class. So 50% of your overall final grade will be based on 5 unit tests. Okay, so each test is only worth 10% of your overall grade, but combined, all 5 are worth 50%. All right. Now, 20% of your final overall grade is a critical analysis, or artwork analysis essay. So this isn't a crazy essay. I'm only going to ask you for like 2 to 3 pages. And it'll come up a little bit more toward the middle of the semester, but you'll have about a month to do it. But it is worth a significant portion of your grade, so it's something I urge you not to neglect when it comes up. And we'll talk more about that when it comes up later on. Now, aside from that, we also have 24% of your grade is going to be based on weekly assignments. And we're going to have 12 weekly assignments, each worth 2% each. So these weekly assignments aren't going to be anything too crazy. I'll probably have you either, have a short writing prompt or perhaps compare contrast a couple of artworks, something like that. Nothing too crazy. But each of these 12 assignments is going to be worth 2% of your overall grade. So, our class is 16 weeks. However, I will probably not do most of these weekly assignments on weeks that we have tests, things like that. We'll just see how the schedule works out. But generally speaking, they'll roughly be about whatever we're talking about that week, etc., etc. So from there, you'll see that 3% of your overall grade will be based on attendance, and 3% of your overall grade will be based on participation. So your attendance and participation grades are distinct. So you will have 2 individual grades there, but they are also linked in that if you're not attending, you can't participate. So, they kind of go hand in hand there. So, basically, participation, once again, you'll watch the daily video, you'll submit your prompt questions for attendance and, submit your weekly activity and you'll be good. So it's really pretty straightforward, pretty easy there. So nothing too crazy. But below that, we have just a little bit more of a breakdown of, what each individual one is kind of entailing and everything like that. So that brings us to the attendance policy. So due to this class being conducted online, your attendance will be tracked by your submission of daily activities associated with the lectures. So these are our prompt questions for attendance. So aside from that, the below policy will still be implemented. In this sense, you are allowed 4 days without submitting the daily assignments before your attendance grade begins to drop. All right. So all students are expected and required to attend all meetings regularly and on time. If you are absent, you are responsible for all assignments and announcements that you might have missed. So this would normally be something, more akin to the normal semester and everything like that. But once again, you need to be, submitting your prompt questions, watching the daily videos and everything like that on a regular basis. So you are allowed a maximum of 4 absences throughout the semester. These absences include all reasons: sickness, car accidents, other emergencies, etc. Okay? These 4 absences are strictly confidential, and I do not require a doctor's note for them, okay? So, you are allowed 4 freebies, okay? So use them wisely, all right? So excessive absences will automatically begin to drop your grade by an entire letter grade for each absence below or beyond your allotted 4. Okay, so you may be dropped from the course at the discretion of the instructor for excessive absences. However, I am not without empathy for things like illness, family tragedies, etc. If you are presented with such a circumstance or situation, just please make an effort to contact me, and we can work something out in that regard, all right? Once again, it's not always the end of the world. I also do withdraw, or I'm sorry, I withhold the right to drop you from the class after 5. Now, I don't like to do that, but if you start to have in the neighborhood of 10 to 11 absences, I probably am going to do that, all right? So the key here is that you get 4 free absences. After that, each absence begins to drop your attendance grade by 10 points, okay? So if you have 5 absences, your attendance grade is going to be a 90. If you have, 7, it's going to be a 60, or, it's going to just keep going. So just keep that in mind, all right? Because it can really creep up on you in the long run. So just watch that. Now, once again, I'm not without heart or empathy. So, if you have, like a major sickness, someone in your family dies, whatever, just send me an email. We can work something out. I can let you remake up, whatever you might miss. It's really not that big of a deal. But if you're coming to me with like 15 absences and you're trying to make up stuff, well, we're probably going to have a little bit more of an issue, all right? So, but once again, just don't hesitate to contact me. I'm not going to be, a mega harsh ass on it and everything like that. Now, something else here. Withdraw. So, I, as your instructor, may automatically drop you after 5 absences. If you want to be dropped, it is your responsibility to confirm this and or drop officially yourself. So until you hit 5 absences, I cannot drop you on my end. You will have to withdraw yourself. All right, so keep that in mind as well. If you have missed 4 classes and do not want to be dropped, be sure to contact your instructor to stay in contact about your absences. So information about dropping and withdrawal from the class can be found at this website link that I provided. So if you want to withdraw before 4 absences, or before 5, I should say, you can go here and it has instructions on how to do that. Keep that in mind. Know your drop deadline and refund schedule as well. So this should also be available on the WebAdvisor website. So you have until certain times to get at least partial tuition refunds and everything like that. But so just keep that in mind. So below that, I also have a couple of important dates for our semester. So if you look here, the course drop deadline is April the 15th, 2021. So after April 15th, if you have, 15 absences, I can't drop you anymore and you're stuck in this, okay? You can't withdraw either. So, keep that in mind. If you're, coming up on this date and you got a lot of absences, you're missing a lot of assignments, well, you might want to consider, withdrawing and everything like that. Just, once again, it's just something to keep in mind. But you'll also see that I have the test dates here. I'm going to try to stick to these dates as adamantly as possible. So test 1 will be on February the 8th. Test 2, March the 3rd. Test 3, March the 31st. Test 4, April 19th. And our final will be on May the 10th. Okay? So beyond that, our artwork analysis essay will be due on April the 14th, and I'll assign it about a month prior to this, so probably right before spring break. So you'll have about 4 or 5 weeks to work on it and everything like that. And once again, we'll talk more about that later on as well. Now, one more date, you'll also see that our spring break is going to be between March 15th and March 21st. So that'll be a week off for everybody and everything like that as well. Now, student accessibility to resources. So, any student with a documented disability needing academic accommodations is required to contact the Student Accessibility Resources or SAR office located on each campus to schedule an appointment with the coordinator of SAR. All discussions are confidential. Because SAR accommodations may require early planning and are not provided retroactively, students are encouraged to contact SAR as early in the semester as possible. SAR is responsible for approving and coordinating all disability-related services. TCC professors will honor requests for accommodations when they are issued by the SAR office. So, if you have any, issues or you have SAR paperwork, feel free to contact me. Send me an email, forward that paperwork to me, and I'll try my best to make any and all accommodations necessary for you. Okay. I've done this in the past. Several semesters ago, I had a student who was deaf, and we tried to, kind of make all the accommodations necessary for her. Once again, if you find yourself in a different situation or you need special, help or whatnot, and you have this documentation, just let me know. Just stay in contact with me, and I'll do my best to be accommodating in that regard as well. Okay. So beyond that, scholastic dishonesty, this should all go without saying, but students are responsible for adhering to the TCC policy on scholastic dishonesty as stated in the online student handbook at the TCC website. Plagiarism of any kind will not be tolerated, and it will result in an automatic failure of any assignments wherein it is found without exception. So this really won't be that big of an issue for us. In the paper, make sure you're citing your sources. On our tests, make sure you're not cheating. If I find out that you're cheating on anything, I'm not going to hesitate to fail you over it. Okay, so this should go without saying. Don't cheat. Also, scholastic dishonesty can also wind you in or wind up with you in academic probation, which isn't good for you either. So just don't do it. It's really not that hard to not cheat, to be honest. So just you should know how to behave yourselves. All right. So aside from that, we also have resources for additional information regarding the student handbook, academic calendar, course evaluation, attendance policies, scan skills, core competencies, etc. Please visit the tcc.edu website provided there. Now, classroom etiquette. Now, no, we're not obviously meeting in person, but these things still apply in my opinion. So, policies are based on the values of safety, courtesy, mutual respect, maintenance of an effective and supportive learning community, balancing group and individual needs, academic achievement, facilitating creation and presentation of art to wider communities. So in general, this doesn't really apply all that much, but like no guests, children, or animals are really allowed in class. Obviously, that doesn't really apply to us this time. But since we're also, meeting asynchronously, I'm not worried about things happening in the background of your webcam or anything like that. However, I do want to note that there is a disclaimer for this class. So this course contains adult content that may include nudity, profanity, and depictions of violence and/or sexual content. Okay, we will be viewing and discussing artworks concerning politics, religion, etc. So honest but respectful discussion is expected. If you have concerns, please talk to me and/or consider switching to another section. Now, I will tell you that almost all of the classes, art appreciation classes, are going to be dealing with the same subject matter, okay? So not only are we going to be dealing with historical artwork, we're going to be dealing with religious artwork, and not just Christian religious artwork, but Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, etc., etc. So I really try to be very inclusive in what I show, but as such, I expect you to be respectful about these things, okay? So you should all know how to act like adults. That's what I expect. If you're, disparaging things, needlessly, then we're gonna have some issues, okay? So just once again, you know how to behave like an adult. So that's what I'm expecting from you, okay? So, course materials. You are not required to purchase a book for this class. So say thank you. I read the book, so you don't have to. You are, however, required to have a writing implement and something to write on so that you can take notes during the lectures, all right? So, whatever else you might need to accomplish our course, assignments. So, on the daily basis, I'll be posting, pre-recorded video lectures. So you want to take notes during the video lecture. I provide the link so that you can go back and rewatch it multiple times. You can pause it to, take notes, all of that kind of stuff. So I try to make it easy for you there. But likewise, for our paper and for the daily assignments, I mean, you don't necessarily need to write anything. I'm going to be asking for most of that via email submission, so you can type most of it. If you are unable to, you can also handwrite, take a photo of your paper, and send it to my email from your phone or whatever. I'm very versatile in that regard. So once again, if you have issues or you're concerned about your ability to use email or whatnot, type out everything, let me know, send me an email, and we can work something out, all right? So, beyond that, I also have at the bottom of our syllabus a couple different extra credit opportunities. So this is where, let's say your participation or attendance grade is a little waning, or you've got multiple absences. Well, you can do a couple extra credits for a few extra points to help bring that up. Or perhaps, one of your test grades wasn't to your satisfaction, and, et cetera, et cetera. So you will be allowed to do up to 3 extra credits assignments for an additional 10 points each to your lowest grade. So you can do 3 extra credits. Each one is worth 10 extra points for 30 points total. So now you may choose from the following options presented. Now you may do one of each, or you can mix match. You can do 2 of one, and et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't matter as long as you can do up to 3, and you can choose amongst these options. All right. So option number 1, you can read an article about art from either an art magazine or a website and write a half-page summary about the article and your perceptions of it. Please provide the article, a photo of the article, a web link, something like that, so that I can reference it as well. But, some examples of publications that you might look at would be things like Juxtapose or High Fructose Magazine. Art in America is a good one. Studio Visit's another good one. Hyperallergenic.com is also a really nice source for various articles about art. It doesn't necessarily need to be an article. It could be an interview with an artist as well, et cetera, et cetera. There are all kinds of different things. If you're also unimpressed with these examples, there are many others out there. You can also go to the library website, and under articles and databases, you can go to the JSTOR or Art Store databases and find a huge number of articles there. We'll talk more about that when we talk about the paper later on as well. So that's one option that you can do. Your next option would be to visit an art museum or gallery and write me a half page about your experience, including your perceptions and everything like that. If you go, I'd like you to at least include your ticket stub or brochure or something, just as proof that you went. Now I know right now with COVID and everything, this might be kind of an issue. Most of the museums are open right now, I think, with safety cautions and everything like that. But if you are unwilling to go in person, many of the museums, not only in this area, but also worldwide, have digitized most of their collections and have been offering online tours right now. And so if you want to do the online tour and write about your experience of it, that totally works as well. Okay, so you're not just limited in that regard to local museums, which I have listed here. You could go do the online tour at the Louvre or the Hermitage or the Prado or what have you, all over the world kind of deal, and write about it. So anything you want to do in that regard works. But if you're interested in this area, we do have quite a few really good museums here. So we have in Fort Worth the Amon Carter Museum of American Art. We also have the Kimball Museum in Fort Worth, which is right next door, and it's Ancient and European Masters. There's also right next door to that the Modern Museum of Art in Fort Worth, also a really good one. In Dallas, we have the Dallas Museum of Art, which has kind of a little bit of everything. We also have the Meadows Museum on the SMU campus in Dallas, and it is primarily Spanish art from the Middle Ages through the contemporary. But we also have the Nasher Sculpture Center and the Crow Center for Asian Arts. The Crow Center might have been absorbed into the Perot Museum in Dallas there. But once again, that's something else that you can look for. And once again, you're not limited to just those. Those are just the major ones in this area. Now, aside from that, you can also watch a film about an artist and write a half-page summary about it and what you thought about it. So I don't ask for proof because everything on this list is a movie I've seen, so I'll know if you're lying about it. But most of these should be fairly easy to find between, Amazon and Hulu and all that. Some of them are a little bit more on the older side, but once again, they should be fairly easy to find. The list continues here. However, I am also open to this a little bit. So if there's a film that's not on this list, there are certainly more out there that you'd like to review for extra credit. Just send me an email, ask about it. I'm not necessarily interested in your review of the newest Star Wars movie. However, if it's a movie that has some kind of substance to it, or something like that, we can debate it, and so we could possibly use that. But once again, I'm looking for something with some substance to it, not just a Michael Bay action movie or whatever. Okay. Now, your last option for extra credit is to create an original work of art for me, okay? And now this can be anything that you like. It can be any medium, so you could do a drawing, you could do a watercolor painting, you could do an oil painting, you could make, a clay bowl or something. It doesn't matter. Anything you want to do, okay? The only thing I asked it is that you make it specifically for me and for this class. Like, I don't want to see, the drawing that you did in high school art 5 years ago, okay? Do something new for me, all right? It's once again, I'm not asking for a lot here. You're not going to be graded on your ability to draw or anything like that. I just think it's a fun one to do. So, that being said, that's another option that you can do as well. And once again, I'm open to all kinds of mediums. If you do digital drawings, all that kind of stuff, that would work as well. So, keep that in mind. So, that's pretty much the syllabus. Once again, our class is going to be asynchronous. So, basically how this is going to work is I'm going to post our video lectures on Monday and Wednesdays, and along with that, you'll have some prompt questions to send me answers to for your attendance and participation grades. And so I will post stuff on Monday and Wednesdays, and you'll have until midnight on Tuesday and Thursdays to submit. So you can do it at your leisure. I try to post everything the night before by 10 to midnight, somewhere in there. So, if you're an early bird and you want to get going at, 6 in the morning, that's fine. Or if you want to do it in the middle of the night, that's fine as well. Whatever floats your boat. So I'll also be posting the weekly assignments when we have them, probably on Mondays, and then you'll have until Thursday at midnight to submit that one, everything like that. So aside from this, I wanted to show you our Blackboard page really quick as well. So if you go to our Blackboard page, I haven't completely made it all up yet. It will probably be made by the time you actually view this. However, if you come over on the left-hand side here, and my view is a little different than yours, I think, but you'll see on the left side the menu, and you'll see syllabus down here. If you click on the syllabus link, you'll find a link to the syllabus. So I suggest that you go here and download this just for your own reference. So you'll have the date list, my contact information and all of that, and just set it aside, for your reference later on, okay? Now, aside from that, you'll also see the announcement tab up top here. This is where I will be posting our links to the videos as well as our prompt questions and weekly assignments will be on the announcement tab. You'll also see the lesson tab down here. This is where our tests and our other course documents like the paper assignment and everything like that, that's where that will be. And then if you come down even further to the bottom here to Grade Center, you'll see full grade center. If you click on that, that's where all of your grades for our class will be, okay? So if we click on the announcements, right now I don't have anything up, but once again, you'll see announcements here. They'll be dated, so you'll know what's what and everything. So just make sure you keep that, or at least check that on a daily, or at least a fairly consistent basis. Check your emails on a consistent basis because I usually send out, a class email when new things are up. It will also give you a heads up when new things are posted to the announcement page and all of that kind of stuff, okay? So beyond that, I want to, wish everyone good luck in the semester. Hopefully this is going to be a good semester. And, I just want to reiterate that if you have any questions at any time, please, please, please do not hesitate to ask me, okay? There are no stupid questions. I will do my best to clarify anything, that I might have misconstrued and everything like that. So once again, just any questions, any concerns whatsoever that you have, please feel free to email me. I'm not a mean guy. I'm not going to bite your head off over anything, okay? So, don't hesitate there. Other than that, that ends our syllabus discussion. And next time we'll get into our first real lecture. So until then, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.